It's rough to be Fox Academy. You see your regular LCS roster doing so well right now, but at the same time, you just can't find the synergy among your Academy team. And it's unfortunate, but at the same time, this is something that every team I think needs to go through, is just a struggle period. Maybe it's a swap or two. We do have roster locks coming in for the summer split.
That'll be interesting to see.
And I feel like Fox Academy is one of those teams that might look to capitalize on it.
You really can, because that's when you're going to see a lot of the tradings happening in the next week or so, when people are going to try to look for their permanent rosters. But before we could even start talking about them, we're already getting into Champion Select. Going to be seeing if Cloud9 can make it a 2-0 day, as they now take on Echo Fox, who want to start making a resurgence late into the season.
And we see the bans coming up from Cloud9 Academy saying, we had a lot of fun with this lane last time. Let's get rid of the Morgana and the Swain.
That's smart, though, from blue side, because you can draft that so quickly from red side. Of course, you want to leave yourself up something a little bit more powerful. Maybe if that Nocturne doesn't get banned by Echo Fox Academy, that's going to be an instant lock-in. But Tahm Kench is another thing that does come up to mind, where you can easily go for a first lock-in from Cloud9.
Yeah, and we saw Dr. Mundo over the last couple of games as that first possible lock-in. We also have Talia, who's available right now, but as the last ban comes in, it will be Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger. Very popular over the last couple of weeks. Very strong on the 80 carry bottom roll, but not going to be seen this game. Believe was not picked or banned the last game.
It's interesting, though, because I do believe we look over towards Lost on Echo Fox Academy. He has played Heimerdinger before. He is very well versed in that, so he knows how to play these kind of strange picks that you see over in EU, you see over in LPL, that you don't see as much in NA. So obviously Cloud9 have done their research, they realize that, they ban that away, and they get themselves a Rakan right away.
They do, and we do still see power picks available. Tahm Kench available for the side of Echo Fox Academy. We see Galio up. We see Zoe up. Zoe is a very good pickup at this point. I feel like the damage was the main problem of last game, even though the team didn't play. They were able to watch that, and they pick up two of the most powerful picks in the meta.
And I imagine that it's going to be Xayah, obviously, for Keith. You can't really have Rakan with that. Well, you can, but it's the powerful composition that you have for the bottom lane, especially because we know it's going to be Jhin over for Echo Fox whenever you have Tahm Kench. We've mentioned that time and time again. Should be locked in pretty quickly, as Gragas could be something that we see locked in. Sejuani is open, but on blue side, it does seem that it's going to be a lot better for these engages that they need for Cloud9.
Oh, certainly. When you have a Rakan able to get in there, you have the Gragas to follow up and the Xayah for damage. That's already a 1-2-3 comp coming in. So much team fight damage from Cloud9 Academy, and I feel like that's a very great strength of theirs. I'm very curious to see what they choose to pair with in mid lane.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I almost imagine Galio would be very high up on the radar, but we could see something that wants to go a little bit more aggressive. And now Varus.
As opposed to the Jhin.
Now that is interesting, because almost always we see Jhin. Hail of Blades has become very powerful on him because of that massive spike in AD that he gets whenever he gets the crit. But it seems that they just want to have better laning phase, especially in the face of Xayah and Rakan.
Yeah, he does have a little bit more range and definitely has that poking ability that we see so treasured against Xayah and against Rakan. Because of the melee engage, you have to have something that goes against that. Also, because of the ultimate, you have more teamfight presence. You have the ability to be in the middle of a fight and contribute.
Yeah, it's similar to why we see Ashe so much. He's just such a good utility whenever you have the Chain of Corruptions that land onto one key member. If it catches out smoothly whenever he goes in with Rakan, that way he can't actually go for the aggression. Now we're in the second part of the pick and bans. We see Yasuo, Golden Glue had his hands on it last time, and now Talon. So it seems that Echo Fox, they're worried that this composition has been drafted to facilitate a Smite Talon mid lane.
It definitely could happen, but at the same time, banned away. Very wise on the side of Echo Fox Academy. These both are power plays for Golden Glue, and I'd like to see what he does. Galio's still available, so if Echo Fox Academy are comfortable with that, I feel like they are, then they're just going to let him have it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, just because, sure, Galio is a strong pick, but it's not going to be something that has that much kill pressure into Zoe. Usually that's how you want to stop Zoe, is have kill pressure in lane. That's why you usually do see that Talon. He's so powerful into that. Yasuo could even stop a lot of the power from Zoe whenever she has Paddle Stars, Wind Wall to make sure to negate that. So I'm curious to see how Cloud9 are going to react if they do want to maybe go for that Kled mid lane.
Kled could very well happen. I also would like to see something like an Aurelia. Might be interesting. Not likely, but could happen. And Mundo is locked in, very predictable on the side of Cloud9 Academy. But Shiro will be off of his carry typical top laners and will be on that super tank that he saw last game.
Yeah, so I am kind of sad about that. I always like seeing Shiro on something that carries a little bit more, as now Golden Glue goes on to Orianna.
Yep.
Going on to something just looking to clear out the waves, not really looking to battle with the Zoe too much.
Not at all. And when you have an Orianna, you have an automatically safe lane in the sense that you can just farm from afar, you can get out with a cleanse and a flash, and Poppy was the final lock-in.
I believe Poppy was the final lock-in that we saw.
So that's actually kind of a surprise. We haven't seen too much Poppy in the professional play, but Poppy does make for a pretty good team fighter.
Yeah, it does actually. I believe it's pretty powerful into both Gragas and Rakan as well. Stops a lot of the engage potential that you can have whenever you have the body slam. Just use steadfast presence right in the middle of everyone, so you can't get the multi-man knockups that you sometimes do see with Gragas. So does stop a little bit of the power from Svenskeren. But at the same time, Poppy is interesting. She got some buffs recently that make her a little bit more powerful as a bruiser, but I doubt we're going to see that coming in from Echo Fox. And Ten Dude has been playing a lot more of the tanks for Echo Fox that can be exploited because he was more of a jungler for many, many seasons, now transitioning into the top role.
Yeah, and when we talk about that specific matchup between Poppy and Mundo, Poppy doesn't really do much to stop the Mundo. Mundo will just keep tanking up, and Poppy doesn't have the tools to really shut him down at any point in the game.
Exactly, and that's why I'm kind of curious about it. It's a nice pick, but maybe not into Mundo as much as into Gragas.
Yes, I have to agree with that.
So now, looking over to the compositions drafted, honestly, for the side of Cloud9, it feels like they want to go for these team fights once again.
They absolutely do.
Yeah, and just comparing that to Echo Fox. Echo Fox, it's a little bit all over the place. It's almost like what we saw from Optic Academy just last game, where they have good options and good pieces of composition, but they don't meld that well.
Yeah, I have to look at the Varus and I say team fight. I look at the Poppy, I say team fight, and then I look at Zoe and I think, okay, there's some poke there, and then I see Trundle and I see, okay. So there's not really a whole lot that adds up in terms of damage and in terms of overall team composition. I agree with you on that, but at the same time, they do have pick potential once again, and maybe that's just a dirty word in 8.13.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what's going to be difficult. Who do you pick? You try to pick Xayah? Featherstorm. You try to pick Orianna? Well, she just wants to get a good shockwave anyways, and she's going to be able to do that whenever Rakan or Gragas goes in.
Yeah, and with the disengage coming in from Gragas, it becomes exponentially harder to get that pick. Yes, you can use Steadfast Presence. Yes, you can use the charge into the wall. And yes, you can use that Q from Poppy to sort of shut him down and not make him too mobile. But he's Gragas. So what do you really get from that? Yes, you get a tank, you get the jungler, but there's still so many options coming in from the side of Cloud9 Academy.
As long as we don't see any con plays, I think we'll be fine. We don't want to see any, maybe knock back the Poppy right into your full team. That way you can't actually flash away. That'd be pretty bad.
That would be bad.
That would hate to see bad. I'd hate to see that as well. But I want to see how this game is going to unfold for both teams, especially for Echo Fox, who need these wins. They've been struggling. They only have one win all season long. And if I actually look, I just want to quickly see who that is against. That was against, I think, TSM Academy.
Yes, yeah. TSM Academy.
Yeah, so TSM Academy, who...
Another one of those bottom-of-the-table sort of teams. It's not a huge confidence booster, but it's something. And if they want to pull this out, I feel like they need to work through their strengths, which I see as the Zoe having immense damage.
Yeah, Zoe immense damage into Orianna, who is looking for just amazing shockwaves, but this time, unlike what we saw from Palafox, it will be followed up by a lot more potential damage, as well as even more engage potential from both Gragas and Rakan.
Yeah, this Cloud9 draft has been phenomenal in the last 2 games, and when Cloud9 Academy gets a good draft, I feel like they feel extremely comfortable, and when they feel comfortable, they do a great job.
Now, I want to talk a little bit more about this Gragas, because unlike what we saw last game where the junglers needed to scale up, Gragas is known for having very good early game pressure. And this is something I believe we saw from the CLG Academy game against Optic Academy just earlier today. It was a Trundle and Mundo that were looking for these dive teams consistently onto Darius, but Gragas can do the same things. He is very, very powerful for these early dives.
He can, and especially paired with a Mundo who will take that stopwatch most likely. It will be an incredibly powerful thing, and I feel like they're going to play through the top lane if you're Cloud9 Academy and shut down that Poppy, because gosh darn is she annoying to deal with.
She is very annoying to deal with and does have a lot of base damages But again, it just doesn't seem to fit right in this composition where it will do much. And also, by the way, hi guys, we do see chat.
Hello.
So, how are you doing?
Good to see you.
We just want to say hi.
Oh, thank you, Seawave.
Aw,
I see you.
Love you guys. We don't normally talk to Twitch chat, but I just saw that I want to say hi. So going back to the game, so that way we can talk a little bit more about what we expect, because we are waiting a little bit more for what the game to start. We might be having a bit of technical issues. We have had that a little bit today, unfortunately. From
also that 3-minute delay in addition to that. So there's automatically going to be a wait. Get to see us.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Shark Week.
Shark Week.
See, he's even got it too.
It matches because I'm the victim.
Yeah.
He is the shark.
Yep. Exactly. It works perfectly. So
Synergy.
going back. Sorry.
A laugh from the back. Thank you, production team.
It rarely happens, but that's fine.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. It's helping to pass the time a little bit more.
Sure is.
So, okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys don't know, that's Paul. I want you guys to mention Paul.
He's off camera right now, but we do have a Cloud that, unfortunately...
What happened to him?
Can't talk for today.
What'd you do?
I did nothing. Oh, we're on the wide. Yep.
What'd you do to him?
All the way on the right side of your screen.
What are you trying to keep him silenced? Why? What did he see? What did you see? I'm so sorry. So sorry.
I think that might have been during Mario Party. If you guys haven't caught that game yet, that is on the Cloud9 YouTube channel. You can see Mango playing with the Academy boys, including Blabber. A lot of fun.
But more importantly than that, we got some League of Legends.
We do got League of Legends.
We have loaded up onto the Rift for our final doubleheader. It's going to be Cloud9 Academy looking to cement their lead. They want to go 9-1, starting very strong into the season. But it is Echo Fox Academy who need to make that resurgence, and what a resurgence it would be to take down the top.
Oh, it sure would, and especially when you're sitting at the bottom, taking out the top is the most ego boost you can possibly have. However, Cloud9 Academy, feeling pretty good about this draft and putting the line of scrimmage. I miss level 1 plays. I gotta say that I think they were really popular around Season 6 when we saw people lining up going for the 5-man versus 5-man.
Yeah, and then people realized the line of scrimmage and that you could just kind of stand by the river and you don't actually put yourself in any sort of threat. Yeah, I miss those days too, because it was funny sometimes seeing how people would just barely miss each other.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, man.
I think that was a few European games were exactly like that, where the whole team just barely misses. Like, the other team is aware. They're just hiding. They're waiting. They're eager, but nothing happens.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Something interesting. Looking over towards the items. Smoothly going for the Frostblade instead of going for usually the Ancient Coin is what you see on a lot of recons.
Well, with the Spell Thief's Edge, it allows you to get a little bit more mana regen, and it allows you to poke a little bit more, and favors getting that Gleaming Quill. So maybe that's what Cloud9 Academy is looking to do, just poke them out, especially with Mabry on the bot side. Tom Kench is a very, very vulnerable champion, and I think that's what Smoothie is thinking. See, there it is.
It's interesting to see Mabry, new player over for Echo Fox Academy. Seems like Adrian's going to be back into the LCS this week, so he's been kind of subbing into the bot lane as they've kind of been figuring out how they want to go for their roster. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how he pairs up against Smoothie and Keith, very seasoned veterans in that bot lane.
Yep, it's going to be very rough, and this team already understands how to have synergy. Like, they did it without two members that really have synergy. Yes, you have Morgana and Swain, but when you have true synergy like Azaya and Rakan, who are the definition of working together, I feel like this is going to be a lane that is tough to deal with.
Svenskeren does take the top scuttle. Will be responded by Odd Orange, looking for the bottom just to get a good experience equalization across the map. Unfortunately for Svenskeren, he's not going to be able to find that gank because it was a nice ward placed down by Nintendo X, expecting to have early presence from the jungler. And I think that is a good move on the side of Echo Fox, trying to make sure that they stop the fact that, you know, Svenskeren wants to get Nintendo behind.
Yep, he was known for his early junglers. I remember his Lee Sin in particular in Season 4 was so strong and so able to get so much pressure as Odd Orange coming in.
Odd Orange is coming in looking for Golden Glue as Golden Glue starts passing towards the jungle, not wanting to flash just yet. Very smart move out of Golden Glue because it feigns the fact that Svenskeren is nearby, as you can see. Odd Orange was afraid of looking for that aggression and backed off instantaneously.
That's one of the things about the Gragas versus Trundle matchup that we've seen so much. Yes, Trundle can get those early ganks, but when you have a Gragas available, you see that the Gragas actually has more presence in the first 5 minutes.
You almost thought that there was going to be that aggression that we saw before where the 2v2 kill going over to Keith and Smoothie. Was a nice knock-up, but with Mayberry just being slightly out of range from the Grand Entrance, wasn't knocked up, so can easily devour and keep Lost safe.
Some really solid positioning coming out of Mayberry. I didn't expect him to be right there and out of range, able to eat, and that is the advantage of a Tom Kenshin and very immobile AD carry.
Flash really respecting the fact that that could have been the flash follow-up from Svenskeren to look for the pick onto Yusui. Now, unfortunately for Yusui, losing that means that Svenskeren is going to look for a lot of pressure in this mid lane.
Yes, he will, and when you have the ability to pressure a Zoe before 6, then that's a pretty easy kill. She seems mobile, but she is deceptively mobile. She has the ability to be taken out if you go aggressive onto her in the early game.
You know what's also very interesting is Svenskeren didn't look for the flash there, probably because he didn't want to give the free flash to Yusui. He was just like, as long as we can burn that summoner out of Zoe, we will be able to get the first blood kill in just a few minutes.
Yep, you have 5 minutes of availability, and even when Yusui hits 6, it's still not enough. Like, yes, you'll be able to portal jump away, but that's only for a second, and maybe dodge one ability. That's not enough to deal with the Gragas and an Orianna.
Bot lane, Keith getting a nice shove into Lost. Once again, it seems that the Cloud9 bot lane is winning. And looking for these rotation plays, Yusui has his lane frozen nearby the turret for Golden Glue, who's just waiting. He wanted to see if he can get Smoothie into range so they can look for that kill. Again, no flash on Zoe. She's an easy target for Cloud9.
But at the same time, Fox Academy knew that, and that's why we saw so much caution coming out from Yusui. This is great communication, and this is exactly what we want to see from every single team in the league, is knowing when a laner leaves. Getting those MIA pings, am I right?
Look at this right now. Smoothie has been sitting in that brush for quite some time, waiting for Svenskeren to come into the bot lane, because they might look for this play, but with Odd Orange wrapping him behind, they could easily have gone and turned that back onto the Trundle. But Keith said, I want to farm. I'd rather get some CS first. That way we can keep this lead over long.
Not only Keith said that, but Golden Glue said that. And Golden Glue stayed in the mid lane. Yes, he could have rotated down, and they could have done a beautiful 4-man play again, but without level 6s, it's very hard to pull that off.
That's probably when we'll see a lot of this action. Even though Svenskeren has been trying, he has been quite all over the map. Now the Shockwave, that is no mana on Yusui. He uses Ignite onto Golden Glue to get the W damage, trying to see if he can dissuade Golden Glue from going in. But really, Golden Glue was able to get another summoner out of Yusui and do a lot of damage in that trade.
Yes, he was. Good prediction on that Shockwave, and we do see in the top lane, Nintendo Dex, we talked about this matchup. He's getting a farm discrepancy currently, but once he picks up that wave, it'll be probably about 1 or 2 CS down. And that's nice, but at the same time, Nintendo Dex is never going to reach the level of Mundo, who is a top-tier pick, who's impossible to deal with in the late game. So I have to wonder a little bit about this draft as well.
So Sam, where are we going to see the first play really happen? Where do you expect either team to be looking for pressure?
I think we've already seen a lot of pressure in mid, and I feel like that's where we're going to see big plays as well. So once mid lane really starts getting going, once Golden Glue gets his ultimate back, I feel like Cloud9 Academy is going to make the first move, and they're going to move towards the Zoe, who still does not have flash, and try to get Zoe down as soon as possible.
Flash still has quite some time before it comes up for Yusui, so could be an easy pressure point that Echofunks have to respect and not go too far out. But meanwhile, top lane, Shiro has been winning out pretty heavily into Nintendo. Will get the ult out of Poppy, so he got knocked out back by the Hammer's Justice, so not going to look for the kill, but that's a lot burned out of Nintendo.
It was. At the same time, this is one of those classic top lanes that we've seen where there's probably not going to be any pressure topside. Bot side, though.
Bot side, that was the level 6 coming in for Lost. Still a lot of pressure. Here is Svenskeren. He wants to look for the play onto Mayberry, stopping that flash. Does not want to let this Tom Kench escape, even using the explosive cast just to get the first blood.
But it went on to Svenskeren, and I feel like he wanted that to go on to Keith, so we have a game much like last time where he was the carry, and he was able to show how much he could do when he had the gold funnel to him. Very unfortunate he got the first blood to Gragas, but getting the first blood as a team, very good.
Now we get a look at this replay, and honestly, look at this coming in from the side of Echofox. They looked for the engage, not respecting where Svenskeren was on the map.
Nope, they didn't quite have the warding that they needed. You could see the top river was warded, but the bottom river still very exposed.
Now, again, another play. Sure, they got the kill before. You said they wanted to see if they can give that over to Keith. Well, they say, okay, Sam, we'll get the kill. We'll give it right over to Keith. go right under the tower for it.
Yep, and that was unfortunate. Lost having used teleport already and flash, had no options in that fight. Unfortunately, we didn't see it on stream, but trust me, it was a doozy.
Was a doozy, and the fact that you have your 2 defensive summoners gone for your bot lane. Sure, we mentioned that Yusui was someone that could easily be picked on, but now it's even worse because Varus and Tahm Kench don't have that much survivability if they get jumped on.
Nope, not at all. Both those characters are relatively immobile, and against a Gragas who can displace you so easily, it's going to be tough to deal with any pressure towards them.
Golden Glue dodging away pretty nicely from the bubble. Didn't get connected, so he's only going to have a little bit of trouble in his life where he's just like, I guess I'll clear out these minions while I wait for the blue buff to be gifted to me.
Yeah, these have been surprisingly quiet mid and top lanes. Top, I guess, not as surprising, but since the mid lane hasn't been pressured quite so long, Yusui has his flash ready and will be able to get out should there be any pressure towards him.
Ocean Drake started up by Echo Fox, but Keith and Smoothie look like they want to go for a fight. Might even look for the pick with
the team
being on the other side. They got the Chain of Corruptions. They get themselves the Ocean Drake. A lot of damage onto Keith, but Smoothly is the one killed off by the W flash back by Yusui just to zone away the members of Cloud9. Here comes Abyssal Voyage. They might look for the dive. Featherstorm is already gone. They're juggling the aggro just a little bit onto Mayberry at the moment. Not going to be able to finish him off with the piercing arrow. A lot of damage coming in. Svenskeren looking for the dunk as he slams it home, getting the kill onto Lost.
That was some very questionable positioning coming in from Mayberry. I feel like once you see Varus taking those turret shots, you need to be next to him immediately. Yes, it might have sacrificed your life in that instance, but if you can devour him and keep him in the Gragas, then you're good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Your life at that point is to keep Varus alive. Shockwave in mid lane gets the cleanse, and those Clockwork wind-up damage autos from Golden Glue are scaring Yusui enough where he cannot even step close to Orianna.
And Orianna has the blue buff, so anytime he wants to harass, he can harass, and those shockwaves are going to come back pretty quick. Yes, it's still level 1, but with a Lost Chapter completed already, 10% CDR is pretty good.
You know what I love looking at this top lane? Shiro playing Mundo as though he's a carry. Just being like, oh, I go and fight now? And it's like, no, you're supposed to play passively. He's like, no, I fight now.
I fight.
Yeah, and this is why I love watching Shiro. His playstyle is always aggressive, regardless of what he has.
Yep, and especially in a matchup that he feels confident in. He's played this Mundo before, and I feel like he feels confident against any sort of tank that when he's Mundo.
We're going to just have to wait until he actually can join the game this time around. Unlike we saw last game where...
Hopefully it'll be sooner.
Unfortunately, AFK for most of the game. This time around, he is doing a little bit more work, as now Keith and Smoothie didn't actually get separated by that pillar. It looked nice at first, but it put Smoothie on the other side, who can easily just use the battle dance to get back to his partner.
Smoothie's always going to be hard to catch just because he has that recon and just because he has so many movement options that really catching him doesn't mean anything unless you get an Ignite or some other spell that does damage over time on him.
Orange has been paying a lot of attention towards the bottom lane for quite some time, ever since the first kill went over on to Mayberry. You really want to see if Orange can maybe play around the mid lane a little bit more, because this has been a lot of attention onto this bot lane that hasn't really netted too much except for one Ocean Drake, and now might get another kill. Here comes the engage from Smoothies. Svenskeren taking down to 50% health. Lost was eaten for quite some time. That was a great route, but it's Odd Orange, the one who's closest to everyone. On the other side, here comes Golden Glue. He wants to look for the Shockwave to cut off that path. Only hits onto Lost, but it's all you need. The barrel to pick up the kill as Mayberry has to run away, but you're not going to be able to swim your way out of this one. You're going to be swimming on home.
And that's what happens when you don't have Devour and use it too early. He was able to Devour Lost in the middle of that, but unfortunately that wasn't the time that you needed. And because of that, Golden Glue was able to pick it up.
That was a nice rotation out of Golden Glue. Yusui just couldn't actually do anything. He's been shoved into his turret for so long by Golden Glue, who's using a lot of mana, sure, but it's keeping Zoe in position where they know that she can't actually impact the rest of the map.
Gotta spend mana to win games, and Golden Glue has been doing that to exceptional levels. So now we see a lot of pressure going in. Fox Academy prepared that so well with all the warding. Yes, Cloud9 Academy had an inkling of it, but we saw that it was dark on the side of Cloud9 Academy, so they didn't actually know how many.
Missile Voyage coming in, but Nintendo is losing this duel to Shiro. Gonna use the Devour to turn it around. That is the stopwatch. It might be a little bit too late out of Shiro. He wants to get one more cleaver that could have picked up Nintendo, but unfortunately, with 4 members strong of Fox, it will finally finish off Mundo.
A solid play coming in from Fox Academy. Yes, they committed 4 members, but at the same time, there's no one on the bot side to contest. There's nothing that Cloud9 Academy gets for that. So very good play and a very good reaction out of Fox Academy.
Now Cloud9 Academy wanted to look for a retribution play in the top lane, but that would have only been worse had they actually engaged the fight, because TP just came back up for Nintendo to X2, got his back, and could have easily teleported in. That would have been a 3v4 easy cleanup for Echo Fox.
Would have, but unfortunately didn't happen, and now Cloud9 Academy shoving in that mid lane.
That was a lot of damage coming in from Golden Glue. He is asleep, but not going to get the full damage and full range out of the pedal store of Yosui to try to turn that around. Instead, looking for the TP in behind with 2 members lost and Nintendo. Here comes Shiro. He wants to return the play. They want to get out of here as best as they can. Somehow, Keith and Smoothie are alive away from the fight, with 4 members still looking for these plays on the top side of Echo Fox.
It's a lot of fun to play against Isaiah and Rakan. It's a lot of fun, just because you have so many options to stop their mobility and get them down if they're ever together. But unfortunately for the side of Fox Academy, they committed 2 teleports to that play without having the proper lockdown.
Yeah, and really it was just a great play from Keith and Smoothie as well to make sure to get out of that position, where they were caught out a little bit worse for wear, but Shiro teleporting in did scare Echo Fox from going for too much and too deep on that play, and then not actually getting any kills for Echo Fox.
One thing I'd like to point out is Smoothie did not take Ignite this game, he instead took Cleanse. So not only is he slippery because of the Xayah, he's slippery because of his Summoner spells, which he didn't even have to use both of because he took the Cleanse.
Echo Fox, the fact that they did use a lot on the top side of the map, do want to get as much as possible. They're looking to steal away this blue buff. Odd Orange wants to be the recipient of it. He's going to probably have to smite it.
Nope.
That way he can get it. Now, with the Rift Herald started up as well, Cloud9 have to look for some sort of play. They don't have teleport out of Shiro, so he can't join in the fight, but Nintendo is already looking to pass down into the bot lane. Flash out of Mayberry just to get away from the fight.
That was a flash that was forced by the side of Cloud9 Academy. It was a good reaction, but at the same time, that was because of positioning on the side of Fox Academy. So now we see this play. There's no one who can actually get this Rift Herald right now, just because of how much pressure is top lane between the 2 teams. That's why Cloud9 Academy now looking for the mid lane.
They open up this mid turret as well. They start open up the jungle of Odd Orange, so he can't do it quite as much. Svenskeren, he's not that tanky and took a lot, but neither is Odd Orange. There's a kill for Svenskeren.
Whoa!
Great paddle star out of Yasui to snipe out that backline. Smoothie has to run away. Almost got sniped out again by Yasui, but Golden Glue is going to be the one who will probably finish.
No summoners.
Unless Keith can show up and be the hero. Gets rid of the bot lane of Echo Fox, so they cannot go for the play.
A good retaliation play coming in from Yusui as we get a little bit of lag. Hopefully we will be able to get that solved as soon as possible, but that is coming in from the source. Yes. That is not Cloud9 Academy, so
yeah, so we'll hopefully be able to figure that out pretty quickly. The Circle of Death, yeah, I gotta pay F.
Hate it.
Press F for respects everyone.
And F5 if you want to refresh. Sometimes that works, sometimes it does not. Unfortunately, Riot is lagging at the moment, but a close game coming in from Cloud9 Academy. 2K up, but at the same time, pressure is going on too.
Okay, so we get a look at some of these replays. So we look over towards this play that came in from Echo Fox, where it looked like it should have been nice, but they didn't respect Svenskeren.
No, not at all, and that was why the first blood went so well, just because of how much pressure Cloud9 Academy was able to put down. We are back to live, and now we see the turret has been pushed, and Cloud9 Academy are up 1-0. First brick over to them.
And I believe they gave the gold over to Keith as well. You talked about before how you wanted to see a lot of this gold being funneled into Xayah, and she has Storm Razors as well. So really, how does this help Cloud9?
So now that they have the gold onto Xayah, she has a 50 CS lead. She has 1 kill, 2 assists, and no deaths. So now that she has this gold, she will be a damage threat coming in for the side of Cloud9 Academy. And with Golden Glue able to protect her, she's able to get that long-range damage and use her scaling into the mid and late game against Fox Academy to pick up a lot more.
I mean, there's a lot that can protect this Xayah that keeps her safe. You have Smoothie, you have Golden Glue, you have Svenskeren, you even have Shiro, who can play for a little bit of the puppy dog sort of Mundo, even though I'd much rather see him look for the plays onto Lost.
Yep, it could very well happen. But now that we're into this game once again, we see plays towards the Rift Herald. This is a little dangerous coming in from Fox Academy as we see Smoothie just taunting them on the top side of the map.
At the same time, Svenskeren and Golden Glue were nowhere to be seen. They couldn't actually have gone for a retaliation onto the Rift Herald, but Echo Fox had no idea. They didn't have the vision on the fact that there was no Gragas nearby.
Yep, and Maybury now just getting the worst of it as the pressure has gone over to Cloud9 Academy. They're using their vision so aggressively that there's no options for Fox Academy to get this Rift Herald or even to push out into the river.
Svenskeren sneaking his way into the bush, not seen by Echo Fox just yet. And Echo Fox thinks that they have the advantage. They think that they've cleared out all this vision and look like they want to try to go for this fight into the brush, but they have to be so cautious because they have not seen Svenskeren in quite some time.
Don't, and they're going to go in anyway. Odd Orange.
Get the knockup, though, so even if they had, it would have been the Devour coming in from Tom Kench, keep him away from the fight, but really was ambitious from the side of Cloud9.
It was. Sometimes you have to realize that you can make these plays, you can set them up, but the same thing happened earlier on with Fox Academy. They cleared out all the vision, but at the same time, Cloud9 Academy knew that they were there, so they couldn't actually get anything off.
Plus, the fact that they scared away Echo Fox from even going towards that brush meant that they had vision control around the Rift Herald and picked that up 19.5 minutes into the game, just shy of when it would have despawned.
Oh, that's the perfect time to get it because now you have the pressure onto the second tier turrets as well as the inhibitor turrets. Just because you picked it up so late, you have team damage and you have the ability to siege.
Nintendude X was looking for a flank under this tier 1. But unfortunately couldn't go into a proper position so that they could actually jump onto Golden Glue. Shockwave used onto Odd Orange. He takes a massive chunk of damage, and Cloud9 are making sure to run circles around Echo Fox as they look like they might get 2 turrets off of a literally zero-effort play.
That's what happens when you 3-1-1, but unfortunately Fox Academy did not react to that. They thought that it was going to be a 5-man mid and tried to make their own play. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for them.
No, and now they've lost all of their tier 1s. Everything has been taken away from them, but Shiro still posturing in the bot lane, trying to draw members towards him.
Yep, and that's exactly what you want now that the Rift Herald is in the hands of Cloud9 Academy, specifically onto Svenskeren. He can look to push anywhere that Shiro is not and use that to great effect, maybe even get an inhibitor.
So this is where we have to ask, what are the win conditions coming in from Echo Fox? Because soon, Cloud9 want to look for these fights. They have a beautiful team fight composition, but honestly, Echo Fox have to do something soon, otherwise they're going to start losing. And
this is the death knell of this comp, is they need to find a pick, but unfortunately there are just no options for them currently. Yes, we saw the 3-1-1 just now, but both of those players have teleport. Keith has teleport, Shiro has teleport ready. They can get out of virtually anything just due to tankiness or the inherent kit of someone like Azaya. So there's really very few options unless you can get a 5v3 team fight against the meat of Cloud9 Academy.
Cloud9 Academy doing what they did last game, which is vision control. They've been starting to slowly but surely encroach into the jungle of Odd Orange, getting as much control as possible, and with Shiro still pushing very far in this bot lane. Nintendude X cannot leave him alone, otherwise that's going to be another turret taken.
No, he can't, but at the same time, he can't do anything to him. Once Shiro has that ult, which he still does, he can just push forward, and he can make sure Nintendude X has no options. So now the Rift Herald has been popped in the top lane. That turret's going to go down immediately.
That's a tier 2, and there is no response from Echo Fox just yet. This should actually be some damage on it to the inhibitor if they go quick enough. TP has been procced by Nintendude X into the backline with Shiro recalling, trying to see if he can maybe go into the fight himself. He's going to go right into the thick of it. Golden Glue taking so much damage from those paddle starts, and they want to go into it. Nintendude X is able to help finish that kill, and North Knight coming in, more damage onto Keith, who had to run away from the battle. They left their tank all out to dry.
Nintendude X!
Nintendude X is alive, but they lost the inhibitor turret that entire time. The Rift Herald has been pushing up, and Shiro gets a return kill onto Poppy.
And I was talking about how necessary it was to get a pick. Once they found Golden Glue, that was the go button for Echo Fox Academy. Able to pick up a couple kills, unfortunately losing their turret for it.
Wow, that is crazy. That was a horrible fight from Cloud9 Academy, but they still are the ones who win out because that Rift Herald was able to do so much in the meanwhile.
And we saw, this is already Golden Glue going down, and the rest of the fight was Keith, their only damage source, having to run away. Svenskeren didn't have the options of beating him, and at the same time, Mundo was just in the backline, left to die. There was no options for Cloud9 Academy.
But at the same time, with Mundo dying in that fight, that's the best thing that could happen for them because it delayed Shelly getting that damage onto the inhibitor so that the rest of Echo Fox couldn't stop it. Now, they have opened up the base of Echo Fox at 23 minutes.
And that's very important as that inhibitor is open. At the same time, though, the second tiers for every other lane are still available, while on Cloud9 Academy, they haven't lost a turret yet.
This is where it's going to be very troubling for Cloud9 Academy if they have fights go the same way as that previous one, because there's a lot of gold left open from Echo Fox. They start getting these turrets, they start coming back into the game in a massive way because they're only behind about 3,500 gold.
Yep, they are certainly behind just a little bit, but at the same time, Baron has spawned, so now, if they want to go, they have to go now. Fox Academy in the back seat currently at Cloud9 Academy looking at that Baron.
Yeah. And this is where they're looking for these fights. They're looking to see if they can pick out Keith. Does have Featherstorm on that ability to be used, and that's what happens when you don't have Featherstorm for your Xayah. She can be bursted by Yasui.
Yasui, the #1 pick potential on this team, definitely putting in work and getting those kills when he needs to. Last time it was Golden Glue, now it's Keith.
That's what's unfortunate, is they lost Keith, who's been the guy that's been getting a lot of this gold. Baron is a threat from Echo Fox, but they haven't started. They want to see if they can bait in Cloud9 for one more play. They're just going to be very cautious around this. They didn't get the ward over the wall. That's the control ward they needed, but they're 3 members split away from Golden Glue. He wants to get in a range for a good shockwave. That was an explosive cast separating the members of Echo Fox, but with Golden Glue still not with the team. This is the TP in from Keith, but might be the re-engage that they need. Poppy is the one to get the damage. Here comes the engage. Only shockwave onto one member. That was odd orange, but he could be the member you need to take out in this fight. He's still so damn tanky. Finally, with him gone, with Xayah in the back line, the snipe attempted by Yasui wasn't enough for now. They got the kill onto the jungler. Cloud9 need to get control around the Baron as well.
Very hard to do considering they lost a lot of health for that. They have the one Ocean Drake that's healing them up, getting the fruit as well, but Keith taking a lot of damage, not getting sniped out yet. Yasui was so close to making that worth it.
That's going to be the big thing if he keeps surviving in these fights, because right now he's sitting on quite a lot of crit. He's got that Storm Raiders, has the rapid fire cannon, even with that Quicksilver stash. That's just to make sure that he doesn't get exploded by Yasui. He can use that Quicksilver stash to get away from the Sleepy Trouble bubbles.
And it's going to help a lot, especially considering we have a Rakan who's able to go in. He has to be by himself in a lot of these fights with Golden Glue. So when those two squishies are together, you have to be so scared of someone with pick potential like a Zoe.
Cloud9 Academy still want this Baron. They actually started up. They saw that Lost was in the bot lane, but he's recalling with PP. He can join into this fight. It's down to almost 50%. Here comes the TP in from Lost, but he's the one who's in the front line. It's getting so low. They have to get this as quickly as possible. Chain of Corruption's fight going to be cured by Senskiren, and now Odd Orange. He is the one, again, to be the tank, the front line that he wants to be, but it might not be enough because Smoothie wants to re-engage. Mayberry has thick skin. Shockwave only drags in Poppy, but they already got the kill onto Tom Kent. So they take out frontliner after frontliner of Fox. And now with the Baron on top of Cloud9, they want to look to push back into the base of Echo Fox.
That's the problem with Fox Academy's lineup, is they cannot play reactive. They have to always play proactive. If they get behind at all, that is pretty much it for the comp.
This is where Cloud9, they are very confident. They started getting ahead early. They kind of squandered it a little bit. But now they're starting to crack open more inhibitor towers of Echo Fox. They already have the top tower gone. So this is where they just want to take mid, then rotate into the top.
This is taking an inch and getting a mile out of it. Cloud9 Academy, from one pick, were able to get Baron and then an inhibitor. Probably going to get a second one here and then back out immediately.
But this is very early into the game, so 27 minutes into it. Nintendo X and Mayberry are back on to the Rift, so they can actually put up a little bit of a fight. So it's a good call from Cloud9. Get 2 inhibitors, recall at the same time, push for bot, and win.
Yep, this is clean League of Legends coming out from them 2 games in a row. Now they're capitalizing on proactive plays, realizing that Echo Fox Academy did not have much in their draft to go against them. And once they found an advantage, they kept it.
Right now, Lost and Echo Fox sitting in a very precarious situation where this game is at death's door. It's just going to take one more good push of Cloud9 to end it. because they already have the super minions starting to come in top and mid. All they need is bot, and they get the doubles. And there's really no way that Echo Fox can actually fight back then.
The only way they could have fought back at all is if Yusui had gotten a little bit more gold onto him. He's 2-0-3. Had he completed his death cap by now, I feel like that's the pick potential that you want. If he had a Lich Bane as well, that might have also helped for burst. But as it stands, Cloud9 Academy have no threats.
Not at all. And you can tell that Echo Fox respect the fact that if they look for these fights, that not much is going to happen. They have to hope that they get a good pick on to Keith like they did before. That delayed the game just a little bit longer. But really, that's hoping on a miracle, because so far, that's only one death on Keith. He's only gotten picked off that one time. You can tell that Smoothie and Svenskeren are now trying to make sure that they keep the Xayah alive.
Yep, and they can do that very easily. They have the 4-1 strategy going. Shiro playing his own game currently as he pushes the bot lane. Golden Glue joining him, and this turret's going to go down immediately as Fox Academy do not have
Fox have to do something. They have to look for this play. Svenskeren is the one they want to pick off, but it's not really that much damage. They return it back onto Nintendo Dex, who is the one who jumped forward with Odd Orange, but this front line does nothing to the members of Cloud9, who are ripping apart the tanks one after another of Echo Fox. Lost only looking for his face, but it's too far, just moments and steps away. And now, with only Yasui sitting in his own fountain, he watches as the base crumbles, as the game falls apart, and Cloud9 Academy are sitting right on top of the Academy scene at 9-1. They go 2-0 in the day.
And that's a double-header day, so that is a lot of endurance coming out from Cloud9 Academy. Clean in both games. They got that advantage, and then they immediately turned it into a win.
It's really interesting to see this coming in from Cloud9 Academy, where both games, they did have some stumbles, they did have some problems, but they have been able to at least clean a lot of that up. We look last week, they really did struggle with a lot of those victories they had. They had a lot more mistakes than they did this time, whereas just one or two, they cleaned them up, and they win very cleanly in a quick fashion.
And that has a lot to do with the veteran leadership coming in from both Smoothie and Svenskeren. Both of these players are able to guide the newer players in Shiro into a victory based on advantages. And I have to think that Shiro learned a lot from these guys, as we didn't see him do anything unclean this game.
No, but then we didn't also see him go very aggressive and get these snowball leads like we have seen him in the past. It was a lot nicer to see out of him, a lot cleaner, but of course we love seeing the very aggressive Shiro playstyle, the backdoor champion that he has been in the Academy series so far.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see those though, because those plays are set up specifically so that he can backdoor. Unfortunately, he was not able to get those setups, and because of that, he had to play a more passive style.
Exactly, and honestly, I think it's still fine. It's nice,
sure.
Clean League of Legends, a lot safer. They still sit very comfortably at the top of the standings, so 9-1 going into tomorrow. They play Team Liquid Academy, so as long as they keep winning these ones, they're going to look to be the first place team by the end of it all. So honestly, this is where we start kind of asking ourselves the questions, how do they maintain this lead?
And I think that a lot of that has to be with just listening to each other, continuing to grow together, and letting the veteran leadership take over. And as I say that, the veteran leadership is coming in. Cloud9 Academy, welcome.
Welcome, guys. Hi. How's it going? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, it's okay. We're gonna fix that. We're going to fix that so that way we can hear you.
Not quite yet.
I hear some of them.
Yep.
It works.
Hello? I'm not even in the scene.
Okay, wait. Yeah, well, Shiro, you weren't in the game, so I think it's only proper you're not in the scene.
Makes sense, actually.
That's good. I'm just memeing with you, Shiro. All right, guys, so 2-0 in the day. These games were very clean out of you guys, where last week it was a little bit troubling, where you did have some mid-game missteps, but this time around, only a couple of those, with I think the longest game being that first game that went about, what, 36 minutes?
36, yeah.
Right around there. So honestly, let's go over to the new guy joining us here in the call. It's going to be Svenskeren. So Sven, what do you think you were able to provide for the team in these victories?
Probably just more calmness, I guess, where Blabber is super aggressive, and I guess I'm a bit more calm, so less panicky, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we look at some of the plays where there's really excellent vision control that you had, where it wasn't quite down the river, but it was down vertically in the map. And a lot of that was from your plays where you're able to kind of gain control over the map. And honestly, this is the kind of playstyle we do expect from you, from your status of being in the LCS for so long. It was really nice to see that kind of coordination and just vision control that hasn't been seen too much in the academy scene before. So then kind of switching that over to you, Shiro, where I kind of mean with you a little bit that you weren't really in the game, but it wasn't quite your flashy playstyle that we've seen from you in the past.
The first game?
Both
First
of them.
game.
Even the second game, you were a little bit more aggressive, but it was still not your, I'm going to go for this dive no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, we drafted around like bot side both games, especially the first game. Like, we could have picked Gnar or Darius third, but we chose to pick Sojourner too.
Yeah.
And then we banned the junglers. So I was just like on an island pretty much.
Yeah.
Farming.
You were, especially with the Riven, I would have loved to have seen you go for the full backdoor ham style that we've seen you play a couple times, but unfortunately not today. But you talked about a little bit how the bot lane was what you guys drafted around. So that first blood kill where in the first game you guys got that essentially solo. I mean, really, was it because the Swain, or was that more of the coordination you knew you were going to be able to get that?
It's more like Swain Morgana is a really dangerous lane for any bot lane that doesn't have Tumkench. If you land one pull, then that's instantly followed up by Morg Q, and like 90% of champions will just die there, straight up. So.
Yeah, and the Morg play was really nice. You were hitting a lot of those dark bindings in that game. Did you want the Morgana the whole time, or were you looking for that Rakan, or looking for more the Tumkench?
I mean, we didn't play that much Morgana, but I played so much Morgana in the past, so this week of practice, I just played like one game of it, scrims, and like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I just pull it out anytime.
So it's more just incidental, kind of like, hey, I guess we got this. And then,
the draft kind of just went that way, and it worked out.
Yeah, and honestly, the drafts did seem really nice from you. The second game, the Orianna pick, did kind of surprise us because we were hoping to see the Kled from you today, Golden Glue, but unfortunately, you didn't get to see it. But it was a nice pickup into the Zoe. Do you think that the Orianna is going to be something coming more into the prevalence now that she's really seen as a good lane matchup into Zoe?
Yeah, so they've nerfed a lot of, you know, Zoe multiple times in a row, and they actually just buffed Ori. They did a pretty big buff where they reduced her W cooldown by 2 seconds. So I think she's probably going to be more prevalent in the, you know, upcoming games in LCS and Academy.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how a lot of that kind of goes around. I know we have highlights from both of the games, so we can kind of go over that all together and see how everything went. And this is that first play. This is what I was talking about with the vision control that you guys had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe they actually stayed under the turret here. We're, like, pressuring a roam, and they're like, oh, they'll back off. You know, there's no way. And then I'm like, oh, my God, these maniacs are under the turret. And we just killed them all.
That kind of seemed like that, too. Fnatic honestly had an escape that he could have gone for, but didn't. And then, really, these shockwaves from Palafox really didn't net too much in these fights.
I went in there.
They just killed me over and over. Yeah. I was just a sacrificial lamb.
Keith is in there.
Yeah,
hypey, bro.
That hurt Arcadia.
He didn't have Zonias yet either,
yeah,
which was you go back. I think after that playing at the Zonias.
Yeah, Zonias now, but
yeah,
we're not being used.
Feels bad.
I felt empowered.
Though I will say, the fact that they got that first blood kill, I think ruined your kill participation, Sven, because you would have had a perfect 100% for the whole day had it not been for that.
Really?
Fucking bot lane.
Yeah.
Ooh, I ended here too.
Coming out.
Sorry for solo killing.
Yeah, that's what happens. You gotta get the KDA players. That's what it's about. It's about KDA playing.
Next time, I'll think about Sven's KDA. Next time, I'll go for a kill bot lane.
I appreciate that.
Speaking of which, none of you got Yusui in game 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, perfect KDA.
Oh, he didn't die?
Nope.
Holy
2-0-3.
moly, what a smirk.
He didn't die.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. All right.
Pick up for next game.
So, honestly, I mean, that Mundo, we were talking about it when the game was going on. He was getting all the kills. And really, I don't get why he was getting all the kills, because they needed the damage onto Eclipse and Palafox.
Yeah, that Mundo was pretty strong that game.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
He had a lot of pressure on the whole game.
Ah, yeah.
Here you go, Shiro. There you are.
I'm here, guys.
I found you.
I did nothing.
Where did
I got his flash.
What face?
Oh my God, and I go on the Skarner.
I think
Where
that's
is the Yasuo, guys?
the Yasuo.
I think it was out of range, because I was just spamming R.
Oh,
That's where it brought me.
unfortunate.
I do not question where the Yasuo ult takes me.
you just
press
keep,
alt
you keep
and then
pressing it, hoping that something happens.
Instant transmission somewhere.
It's pretty nice.
Actually, Mundo got caught so much.
He was pushing really
This is
far
his
up.
first death, though.
It's kind of what
Yeah,
behind.
but he...
Doing what I did. He feels empowered.
Oh, did I hit Ori here? Oh, I was trying to
But
hit
see,
Ori.
he's Mundo. Mundo shouldn't feel that
I was
empowered.
blind.
That's true.
Not unless he's going for like my build, but I don't recommend my builds for anybody.
This was a little scary.
Just a little bit,
man.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we should have just burned it.
I think Smoothie
Yeah.
actually picked this one.
Oh,
up.
wait, why did we stop hitting it?
I was so confused. I knocked him out and I said it, and then we're just like, wait, you gotta wait.
my God,
Nobody
wait.
realized you knocked
Yeah,
him
see,
over the
Smoothie, you did
golem
get it.
wall.
I was right.
Yeah.
Clean.
Shit.
Was that just an auto?
My W maybe?
Oh,
think it was
Oh,
W,
no.
yeah.
okay.
That 20 damage.
20 damage.
Yeah.
Clean gameplay, guys. Clean.
That's good. It's good.
Interactive.
Let's see Keith here.
Wait, is this why?
Oh,
What? How did he not die?
You all took 2 damage.
that was the weakest Swainel I've ever seen.
Yeah, no souls.
Couldn't do 200 damage to fiddlesticks.
Who is running away and he gets the Q onto
I probably
too.
had no souls. That's why.
Yeah.
You have no
bad,
soul?
man.
Yeah, no soul. I have no soul.
Oh.
It was bad.
He sold his
Oh
soul
my
to League
God.
of Legends. That's what it is.
Eclipse.
What'd you die to?
Bouncing grenade.
Oh,
Oh, was it? I
Oh,
thought
Oh,
it
he
was a
flash
turret.
auto me here.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yep, Eclipse going for that 4th auto here.
Oh, I'm
Not
done.
quite.
It'd been so funny if you like hit the cannon
But I
there.
did not die.
That would've been- oh my god, that would have been tragic.
I think I would have actually stood up.
I think I would have just been silenced had that happened. Just be like, oh, well then. I guess that's a reality.
Not
Alright.
my Jin.
So you guys win, yay!
Nutty.
So now we go over to
Insane.
game 2. Looking at first.
Oh yeah, this is where they
isn't
start the
first
fight. Yeah, this is.
This is
Ooh.
First Blood.
It's not. It's,
Crazy.
yeah, this is first blood.
This is a good fight from them. If in Gragas right now, they got level 6 first on Varus, so good timing.
Look at the patience from Sinskaran. My God.
The legend
Wait for
himself.
flash.
My God.
Just knows
Oh,
where
this
to
is a
be
little messy,
all
but
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You are insane, bro.
200 IQ.
What is Saya doing this
You
way?
block Varus, old man.
What do you mean? You walked behind me. I'm trying to poke, bro.
Trying to poke as Rakan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the Hextech Protobelt?
Oh, keep.
What?
You pressed S.
Wait, I got stuck on the wall. There's no way I
Oh,
stopped
no,
moving.
no.
Wait.
You
What?
slid-
I remember. I remember.
What wall are you
I
stuck
kept
on, dude?
clicking. That's so stupid.
Beta to the
Well, I mean,
Varus
you're
to keep
out
going.
anyway.
You have some packet loss, bro? Oh.
Oh.
Whoa. Dennis with the big play.
I like
Know
it.
where to be all the time, bro.
Would have been nice if it was the double kill too. If Tom Kench was a little closer.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Look at that
That'd
3C
been-
root.
That would
That'd
be
be
nice.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You know, I
yes.
said I was like, they're already dead
Why
on
do you
my
flash
screen.
for
They're already
this?
dead on my screen.
Why you flash for it?
That was so boosted.
Wait, at least ER flash, man.
At least you can do the
Or
the
flash-
ult,
or
like
on
the
top
ult
of
on
yourself,
yourself
dude.
and then flash.
Yeah,
it.
that's the sombrero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the
It's a good
sombrero.
play.
Why didn't you do the sombrero?
You just made it
could've
look-
gotten the swag
I could've
points
done
on
it.
that
You
one.
just made
could've
yourself
done
look dumb here.
Oh no, it's over.
Sure, you almost had the.
I
kill.
really
You know,
wanted
we
to
were
kill
calling this out for like minutes in advance.
I really wanted to kill him.
Damn it,
actually
Kumo.
almost had it
Wait, he was
too.
actually 1 HP.
Damn
Tragic.
it, Kumo.
Almost.
Oh.
Almost.
I could have ran up if I killed him.
I
to be
can't
fair.
believe I died here.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Smurf.
God.
That mid lane
Yeah.
is
Isui, the perfect KDA player.
Smurf.
I can't
Yeah.
believe I lived here.
Oh, it's smooth.
I was like,
Smooth
Keith,
getting
Keith
out of
please hit him.
movements.
They're running at me. Keith, please help.
What? What do you want from me? I mean, I can't go now.
No. See, this is where I think you just come around.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
like,
you
oh, hey.
show up, you show
Yeah.
pressure.
Keith saves me.
And that's enough.
Oh.
You're like,
But he was
That's
running
not
away
here.
for a bit. You saw.
What? I can't go. Like through the river, man. What are you saying? I'm gonna
It's okay,
I'm gonna
Keith.
die.
You want me to die?
Wait,
Ooh,
did you have
this was
flash? You could have
actually.
flashed over the
Alright.
wall.
Scary.
That was
So
unfortunate.
Golden was already dead here.
I got one
Holy
shot.
crap.
Sure did.
Actually, he didn't even sleep me. I just got one shot.
Yeah.
I think
that's
he art over, landed the Q, and then popped Ignite to proc Thunderlords too with the W. So I just literally got one shot.
Okay, so that fight was kind of troll from you guys, but at the same time, the fact that you had Rift Herald made it all worth.
Ooh.
Which
Rift
was
Herald
very
took
weird.
it, in Nepal.
Oh man.
Oh,
Bye,
Keith,
Keith.
what's going on?
What's going on,
it
man?
was,
What's going on?
It was
I'm
lag.
moving.
it was
Hello?
like
Like my Mundo wants to push in his lane the whole way for some
Oh,
reason.
yeah. I definitely
Playing
pushed the
Mundo
whole
like
way.
a ribbon.
you're supposed to say it was lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what? I don't know what happened.
I'd rather just flame him.
I respect that. I can respect that.
I should have most damage this game. Window 1v9.
Window 1v9, the 1-2-1 window.
Yep.
Where's your Conqueror?
It's not good.
And your time, man.
That's for real.
That's how you get the true 1v9 window. I think that's your third one-man shockwave in a row.
You already know. Actually, I think that damaged Zoe. That damaged Zoe.
It
But
did.
she ulted back.
Oh,
for a
was that
normal
what it
spot.
was? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that was
Oh.
a two-man shockwave. Let it be known.
But I want to count it as a one-man because we didn't see it. It's more fun that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way you can just say, I kept going for the one-man swag ults.
The opposite of a who he ult.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too soon, man.
Yikes.
Too soon.
Decent.
Feels bad, man.
All right, guys, but that is a 2-0 for the day. Congratulations. And before we go, we got to do it like we normally do. Go for who you guys think was the MVP for the entire day. So we'll start off with you, Shiro. Who do you think deserves it?
Give it to Dennis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sven getting the first vote.
Sven's Karen.
Sven?
Can you vote for yourself?
We allow that.
Wow.
No, we do not.
Oh, we don't allow that.
No,
Sorry,
vote
don't
for
listen to
yourself.
me.
All right, I'm gonna vote for probably Golden.
Golden.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Some good mid pressure.
Nice. I like it. I like it. All right, Keith.
I'll give it to Dennis.
Oh, all right.
All right, I'm going to go to the double bird player, Keith.
Keith.
Oh, yeah. Was
The
I
bird
flying?
synergy.
Oh, Zaya Swain. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
So
Technically
That's
you were.
Was I flying this game or both games?
Yeah, technically the demonic ascension you fly, and then the feather
Get
storm.
wings.
Feathers fly.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you drop them off a high enough point, technically they fly. Yeah. So.
True.
All right, Golden.
Definitely Dennis. He's my
All right.
MVP today, yesterday, every day.
Ooh. Captain Pride.
Oh, Butler's not watching this
Production
stream.
like that one.
All right, Smoothie.
I'll give it to Keith, man. I got
All
my
right.
first blood.
All right.
I'm landing one pull into one shot.
Yeah,
I love
nice.
Keith's smile in this
Well
photo.
played, Keith.
I
Can you
love
reenact that for us?
Huh?
Can you reenact the smile?
What? What?
It's
I did it?
Yep, we got the close-up
All
going.
right, all right. Oh, yeah,
One
yeah.
more time, one more time.
One
Keith,
more.
one
You
more.
got this.
I did it.
Beautiful.
This is me. Yeah.
Listen, I know a few agents if you want to get into modeling.
Yeah. Just
Be sure to contact.
How could anyone flame
as
that
soon as
face?
possible.
Can't.
You cannot flame that
Literally
face. No
impossible.
one in Twitch chat will ever flame you, Keith.
Or
'cause-
Reddit. Or Twitter.
Reddit,
Or
yeah.
Or
Twitter.
my team.
Yes.
Or my coach. Or my owner. No one can flame me, you know?
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the Academy broadcast here at Cloud9. It was 2-0 for the boys, and they got to play tomorrow against Team Liquid Academy, so make sure that you're rooting them on tomorrow. We'll see you guys all next week.
Bye.
Bye.